Okay, so Rosaria came out a few days ago, and you've probably seen a bunch of videos covering her physical damage builds and like those Mimi burst builds, right? With like Mona Bennett and like heaps of food and stuff like that. But I haven't really seen too many videos covering a permafreeze comp with her, or like a full cryo build with her. So I just wanted to make a video sort of highlighting that because it's my favorite way to play her.
Don't we have a job to do?
It's really fun setup. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so let's start with the build on Rosaria. So as you can see, I have her at level 80 ascended. I'm trying to get her to 90. I'm saving up some books because she's really that fun. So yeah, let's go to her stats. 17% crit rate, 223%, pretty much 224% crit damage. We've got, where is it? 61.6 cryo damage bonus. And then my attack stats there. Yeah, first thing you'll notice is that she has very little crit. I'll go into why that doesn't matter later on as the video goes, but yeah, that's her crit right now, that's her stats right now. Weapon she's using is Blackcliff Bowl. I personally think that this is her best weapon for this build because Ice Resonance and her E and a bunch of stuff gives crit. Her spoiler alert, I'm using Force Blizzard, so that gives even more crit. You can greet a lot of crit damage, so I'm going with Blackcliff Pole. There are all alternatives, like I could use my Primordial Jade Spirit, but I wanted to keep it to a 4-star. If you don't have Blackcliff Pole, it's kind of hard to sub out. Obviously Crescent Bike is better for physical builds, but for builds like this, Blackcliff Pole is probably your best option. It's really hard to find a replacement for Blackcliff Pole. I think the Battle Pass weapon is actually fine if you aren't free to play. Let's have a look at it. Yeah, so Deathmatch is okay, but again, you want crit damage on her. If you don't have Blackcliff Pole, I'd suggest maybe waiting for it to come back, because this weapon is really good, because we want that crit damage. Hi, it's me from the future interjecting here. I just wanted to add, if you really want to play this build and yeah, you don't have the Blackcliff Pole, Prototype Starglit is actually okay. It's probably better than the other options like Crescent, and it is free to play accessible. Energy Recharge is like fine on her. It's good and the effect is okay. So if you really want to try this build and you are free to play, or you are waiting for Blackcliff Pole to come back in the store, because it does rotate in and out, you can probably use this for now. So yeah, this is a good recommendation. Alright, let's quickly cover her artifacts. Artifact building is pretty straightforward. We're running a 4-piece Blizzard Strayer set. In terms of what substats you want to obviously be prioritizing crit damage. Crit rate is also really good too, but we do have a lot of that, but you know, crit rate's always nice. And then after those two, you want attack percent. After that, Elemental Mastery and Energy Recharge. Probably Energy Recharge a bit more than Elemental Mastery in terms of the stack of priority. And then HP and defense. You know, you don't want those stats, but you get what you get. So yeah, this is my first piece. I've got some crit damage. It's the reason why I'm running this piece. Feather's always the same. I did roll good crit rate and good crit damage, and I got a decent attack percent. This is a good glad piece that I happened to roll. So yeah, very nice piece. Attack Sands, pretty straightforward. Usually you want to run Attack Sands, and again, crit rate, crit damage. Obviously a cryo damage goblet. This is, you know, we are running a cryo damage build. This is like what separates, you know, from the physical build. Normally you would run a physical cup or running the cryo damage cup. And then last piece, more crit damage, obviously, right? That's what this is all about. It's all about crit damage. So yeah, I think the build is pretty straightforward. You guys can see the stuff that I rolled. I think I did roll above average. It's very solid. And yeah, it might take you guys a while. But 4-piece Blizzard Strayer, again, with the attack percent, the cryo damage, and the crit damage. Do that stuff, and you'll be fine. So yeah. Alright, let's move into the next part. Team comp. Wrong menu. This is really important, obviously. So, this is the team I'm running right now. I'll go one by one why. Obviously, with Rosaria, we need Rosaria. It's a Rosaria team. Secondary is Chongyun. Obviously, Chongyun is like the bread and butter for this team. The team wouldn't really exist without him, and it's mostly because of his E ability, right? His E ability makes it so that all your autos inside the circle do cryo damage, and we are building for all cryo damage on Rosaria. This is going to make sure that she's always dealing cryo damage outside of her E and outside of her Q. Right, I think it's pretty obvious. He also is really good sub DPS. When E expires, you reapply E, you apply his Q. Really good sub DPS. Next is obviously the water half of the freeze, because obviously you need cryo plus water to make freeze. Also, yeah, to mention, you are also going to get Shattering Ice, which is as an elemental resonance, putting Chongyun in the team, which is going to give you 15% crit, which is really useful because remember we only have 17% crit, so 15% crit from the elemental resonance. We have 40% crit from the set bonus, and then additionally we get another 12% crit if your E lands behind an opponent. So she gets a lot of free crit, which is why I stop crit damage. It's a lot of crit. It's very nice. So another reason why Chongyun's in the team. Double ice is very nice. Okay, third member is, yeah, again, the water. Xingqiu. I think it's pretty obvious. He's like one of the best sub DPS supports in the game. He applies water off field. Is a core part of the comp because he applies water, and he also applies a ton of off-field damage. Very strong character, one of the best supports in the game. If you don't have him, you should grab him. Very, very strong character. Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious why he's in the team. The last socket, I have Barbara, but you don't necessarily need Barbara in the socket. In fact, you can put something like Sucrose in here for a lot of spiral missions. For Spiral Abyss, I usually run Sucrose because she can group like massive groups of enemies. She's a really good utility unit. She has obviously the animal set, which reduces resistance. I usually like to reduce cryo resistance, so we're doing even more damage with Rosaria. This is a flex spot, you know. You can kind of put whatever. Zhongli would be really good in this spot as well. So for recommendations, I'd say Barbara for off healing, and the fact that she can also apply more water if you're not sequencing well. Like she makes it so that, you know, you don't have to be perfect with your play on Xingqiu and freezing everything. Yeah. So other Sucrose or Barbara. Albedo's okay here too. Just keep in mind he does shatter. Geo procs shatter frozen targets, so Geo can be a bit of a but yeah, so I'd say with the Geo characters, if you have Zhongli, throw it to Zhongli, because he has that elemental shred. So I'd say these three members, the first three members are core, and then your last spot is a flex. Alright, now I'm just going to quickly go over the builds for my other characters that aren't Rosaria. I'm going to quickly go over it. It's not exactly a guide for them, but yeah, I'll quickly go over it. So with Chongyun, Skyward Pride, I don't always use this. It's good, but if you don't have this, like, you don't need it. Sacrificial Greatsword is just as amazing. This is a really good weapon. It makes it so that he can E twice in a lot of scenarios, which means you can just apply your E, you know, even more consistently. So you don't necessarily need it. I just use it because I have it. It's, yeah, again, not needed. You could even use something like Serpent Spine. Any DPS weapon is good in him. So yeah, pretty straightforward. For his artifacts, I'm running 2-set Noblesse, 2-set Blizzard Stray. I'm not really gonna go into all the substats and stuff, but yeah, he's a sub DPS, and this optimizes his damage and his burst. Xingqiu, I'm using Sacrificial Sword. Pretty straightforward. You want energy recharge. You want his ultimate to be up as fast as possible, so you want him to have energy recharge. And the reset on the E makes it so that he fills his particles faster, or fills his ultimate faster. Artifact set is a 4-piece Noblesse Oblige. I mean, you could technically swap these two and make it so that Xingqiu is holding 2-set Noblesse, 2-set Hydro, and then put the 4th set onto Chongyun, but I like Chongyun's burst. It's very nice. And then finally, Sucrose. Pretty straightforward. Animal support. This is like one of the best sets in the whole game. It makes animal characters extremely good. Yeah, just very, very good. Very, very solid. Hi, it's Post Risen again here. I wanted to quickly add, I didn't realize I did not cover Barbara. And that's the gameplay I'm going to be showing. So, with Barbara, you just run maidens and you stack HP. It doesn't matter too much with Barbara. She doesn't really add much. Her weapon is also Thrilling Tales. If you guys do have the 3-star weapon Thrilling Tales, it is amazing on Barbara. Basically gives her the ability to give a noblesse buff to one target, but it's like 2 times as strong. So yeah, quick interjection. Barbara, maiden set, stack HP, run Thrilling Tales. Okay. Alright, just some closing statements, I guess. I'm probably just going to put some gameplay at the end of this video just to show you guys the team in action. It's a really, really fun team. There's a lot of cycling through skills, and the idea is it's pretty straightforward, right? You apply water, you apply ice, you cycle your cooldown so that you're constantly applying water and applying ice, and just controlling the battlefield. It's not a team that is focused on doing massive damage. It does pretty good sustained damage, and again, it's more for controlling the field. It's not going to get the damage that you would get from, you know, those vaporized comps or melt comps, but it's really fun to play. It's super flowy, like it flows really well, and the team just has this cohesion, and it's super fun to play. So I do recommend playing it. If y'all did enjoy this video, please let me know. And maybe I'll make another video for the superconduct or the physical version for Rosaria, because I also have a physical Rosaria built out. I have a set ready for her. I have a R5 Crescent Pike. So if you want to see that, please let me know. And yeah, peace.